What's up, guys? I'm outside. I got the TCR. I have my Byrpro rounds. They weigh about 3 grams. These are the actual Byrna Kinetics. These are also 3 grams. Got my modified TCR. Have it on a CO2 tank. This thing has about 200 grams of CO2 left in it. Haven't used it in a while. So I put some oil in here. I put some oil on the empty CO2 in the front. I used a Tipex remote line adapter and some 1/8 pipe fittings to fix this up. You do have to do a little bit of sanding back here. I have playlists and all this stuff, and I have a couple videos on how to modify these like this. Has a hopper. This magazine will not have anything in it. It's kind of like pointless to have this right now the way this is, because the breech in there is flipped upside down, so all the balls are going to feed in to here. I'm going to start with the Byrpro things. They're about 685 or 686 bore size, and then I'll do these afterwards. I'll shoot like 10 shots or like 5 of each. I don't know, I'll figure it out. I'll be right back. It's not super hot out here. I only had this thermometer out here, the one on the table, for like 5 minutes, so it's not really that correct. This was in the house. It's about 80 degrees Fahrenheit or 27 Celsius. This was also in the house. It's been out here longer than the tank, but it's not super hot, and these don't matter, but this kind of matters because it's CO2 and it's not HPA. So yeah, it's probably like 76 degrees Fahrenheit out here, or like 25 or 24 Celsius. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, I haven't used my TCR in a little while. I think the last time I used it, it was hitting about 25 joules. I don't remember if that was on an HPA tank or what I was using. I think it was alien play balls, but I don't remember what the gas source is. So hopefully this shoots and it doesn't lock up. So these are the Byrpro like knockoff Byrna rounds, the green ones. I have like 8 of them in there, and we'll see what it does. 492. So this is hitting much harder on CO2 than it does on HPA. 426. It was also kind of pressurized for about 3 minutes. 422. I'll do 2 more shots. 428. So that's a 3 gram ball. 426. So it's probably about 26 joules maybe. 424. So I'm gonna get the Byrna balls. I'll be right back. Alright, you guys, I got the Byrna balls. 3 grams, about 684. I don't have very many of these left. Most of them have either gotten cracked, or I've shot them, or I've given them away, or they're lost. Alright, so one of the Byrna balls fell out of my hand and then on the ground, so I was looking for it for a little bit, but if this first one comes out hot, it should regulate itself down a little bit. So these are the Byrna balls. 484. It should go down to like 420-ish. 434. See if it goes lower, if it stays this way. 440. So maybe these are slightly, the Byrpros might be a little bit too big. 446. Or I need to reweigh these Byrna Kinetics. I think they're 3 grams, so they might be 2.9. 444, or it's, I don't know, I'm not sure why it's lower, but I'll try this on a lot of other launchers. I think they're too big for the Saber. 442. So these are actually doing better than the Byrpros. Alright, you guys, I fetched out all the balls. None of them cracked. I wasn't trying to crack them, but they were all fine. I'm just going to dry fire this just to make sure there's nothing in it. So it is empty. I got the Byrpros. I'm going to try this one more time just to see if it was some sort of fluke or something. So this is just research. They are slightly kind of oblong shaped. They don't seem like they're perfectly circle. The ones I have anyways. So I'll take that into consideration. I'm trying to fix my stupid headlamp thing. Alright. Byrpro ammo. 460. 424. So yeah, it is a little bit slower. 426, because the Byrnas were hitting like 440. 424. 422. And since this is on a big tank, it's pretty consistent. 426. Like I don't see these randomly shooting up to like 450 unless I leave this pressurized for a long time. So my next test, I'm going to use an HPA tank and a fully open TR68. So let me unconnect all this stuff and I'll be right back. Alright you guys, I forgot. I wanted to compare them sort of to the 3.6 gram small bore T4E quick access balls. So those are like kind of like Jawbreaker Riot balls, Lambid Store, 3.6 gram, just like the cheap nylon stuff. 100 of them is like $18 or $16.99 or something like that. So they're not that expensive, but I want to shoot it with these just to compare. It'll be slower, but they weigh more, so that's why they are slower. All right, chronograph. 456, 3.6 grams. 386, 384, 394, 388. So I don't mind using lightweight ammo. Some people like joule output, some people like speed. So I've never had to use one of these in a actual emergency. 394, but it is fun to see what they do, and I do know that when stuff goes faster, it has a higher tendency to crack through things or rip through stuff. So I'm gonna degas this and I'll be right back. Alright you guys, I decided to use the CO2 tank. Restrictor is in the handle, so this usually the way this is, it's a 1mm drilled out restrictor, no valve block. It's a 16 joule valve. It's a Gen 1 TR68. I was kind of tempted to buy a Gen 2 one, but now that they have that secure 68, kind of not wanting to do that anymore. I could afford to buy them. I don't want to have. I already have a lot of the different versions of the TR50s and the HTP50s. This one's big. I'm going to use the Byrpros first, the Byrnas second, and then the 3.6 gram T4E quick access balls last. Small bore, about 6.84, and kind of like 6.85, 6.87 kind of, but they are kind of, I don't know, the ones that I've shot so far and putting them through my little bore gauge, they're kind of like oblong, like oval shaped a tiny bit. They'll probably get better as production goes, but there's little seams, couple little blemishes. I just wanted to try them. I haven't seen any videos on them or anything, so here we go. All right, you guys, chronograph, Byrpro balls, and TR68 with 1mm drilled restrictor on CO2. If I use HPA on this, I have two bottles on the table, but kind of getting low on one of them, and the other one's fully topped off, but it's a little bit too strong for these, I think. 382, 370, 368, a little bit of a fart, 374, 364. So next is the Byrna balls. None of them cracked when I used the TCR of any brand. None of them cracked. So let me move this around a little bit. All right, these are the Byrna balls. I don't have that many of them, like I said, so I sparingly use these, but yeah, here we go. Try to beat 380, I guess, or 374-ish. 388. 394, more consistent than the Byrpros. 376, that's the lowest one so far. Could be my CO2 tank also. 392, that's the highest out of any of these rounds so far. Speed 364, so that was low. I felt like I could hear a tiny stutter. I sprayed a little bit of silicone spray in here and I shot it twice, dry fired off camera. So that could be the issue with the stutter a little bit. And last is the T4E quick access balls. These are 3.6 grams and they're small bore, like 680. 344, 340, 336, 348, 350, and that's it for the TR68. So, I mean, I'm glad I bought them. I like to try stuff that other people haven't tried yet, or try to do things a little bit differently. I have these CO2 tanks that I don't think, as far as I know, I haven't looked in a while, but I haven't seen anyone really using them on like less lethal channels or even on paintball channels. I don't look at that much paintball stuff, but yeah, I live right next to Ann's Gear, the big like paintball store, so I have access to refills on that. I need to get some new tanks pretty soon. They're gonna be out on the hydro date and pointing this in a safe direction. So yeah, slide check kind of gets caught up a little bit because of the CO2, the coldness of it. So I don't usually vent using the slide check on the remote line because it's kind of gumming up a little bit. I need to put some oil on it real quick. So if you have one of these, every once in a while you're gonna have to put a little drop of oil in between right there and there, and it's already feeling a lot more smooth glide. And you put one on the front end and one on the back end because there's two O-rings in most of these. So now it's oiled up. It's cold still. These are easy to replace. They're just tank O-rings inside here. So that's back to being good. And yeah, so I'm assuming that because these are not perfect, well, at least mine aren't. These aren't perfect circle. Getting some variation in speed, and maybe they're a little bit too big for some of this stuff. I don't know. I've always felt that like 6, 8, 7 or so would be pretty good for most of these barrels, because this seems to be big. I haven't tried feeding one through the front, but I never squeegeed this out. I should probably squeegee this out. This is all like gunk from hot glue homemade slugs that I've made. So yeah, I'll probably squeegee this out. It's kind of gunky in there. I'll try this again on a different day. But thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.